Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today I've got some green olives here. I was able to get a hold of these this season and I'm going to show you now how to ferment them. So I've got about 3 pounds of olives here and I've got a fermentation jar that I've got here and we're going to be using that, and I've got weights that I'll be keeping the olives submerged under the brine solution that we've got. But first we need to prepare the olives before we even get started in that, and we need to give them a good wash, and I've given these a really good wash. And I've got a tool here. This is an olive pitter or a cherry pitter. It does the same thing for both. And what you do with that is you just take the tool, you put your olive in the device here, and then you press down on it, and the olive pit comes out and you're left with an olive. Now once you do this, you need to put the olives in some water because they need to stay submerged, because we don't want them to start oxidizing right off the bat once we take this olive pit out of there. So we'll take that, we'll dispose that. Now in case you don't have the olive pitter, I'm going to go ahead and put that into that water. I'm going to show you an alternative way that you can do that if you don't have one of those. And what you want to do is just take a knife, and I'm going to sit it down here on the counter, and you will take the knife and run it down one side until you get to the pit, and then you can turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. And what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to get that brine solution inside of that olive. If you don't do that, it'll take forever for these things to ferment. So you definitely want to be able to make sure that you get something in there so that you can get that ferment down into that olive, whether you've got a pitter or you use the knife method on that. I'm going to continue to work on these and I'll be back in just a minute. I am back and I've either got my olives pitted or I got them sliced on the side. There were some of them that were really big that would not fit into that pitter that I had, so definitely you can use the knife method and cut them on the side. Or if you want to, you can use like a rolling pin and you could tap it on the top and that would kind of split it open as well. So any variation you can do with them. With the pitter, that really nice because you've got the pits out of them, but some of them were just too big to fit into that, so I had to use the knife to get those split open so we can get that brine down in there. So I'm going to go take these to the sink and I'm going to give these a good rinse again, and I'm going to come back and we'll start working on the crock, getting ready to ferment our olives. All right, I've got my olives rinsed now and I'm going to set those to the side. I don't have any water in those. We're going to work really quickly now with this. So with our brine solution, I've got 1 liter of water, and the water has been dechlorinated or filtered. You do not want to use any kind of chlorine in your ferment. It does inhibit the growth of what needs to be in there for that to ferment correctly. And with our salt, the salt that you need, you only want the only ingredient that you have on the box that says salt. This is canning and pickling salt, and I use that because the only ingredient in that is salt. If you use anything that's got an anti-caking agent in it, it could inhibit or prohibit the fermentation process, and we definitely don't want that to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my salt into my water, give that a good mix through, and we might need a little bit more, I don't know yet, depending on the crock that you've got, the width of it, how many olives you've got in there. So just really give that a good mix through and let that sit. And we're going to set that to the side. If I need to make a little bit more, we'll see once we get the weights in on top of it. So let's get our crock over here. I got this nice and clean, and I'm going to go ahead now and put my olives in there. You can see some of those where they were pitted on those. It looks really nice on those. You don't have to worry about the seed in that again, or the stone. And we're just going to put our olives into the crock. I've given my brine solution another stir through just to make sure that that salt was combined with that water. And now we're ready to put the weights in here. So these are glass weights. I'm going to put these in here. We want the olives to stay submerged under the solution while this is starting to ferment. And we're just going to put those in there just like that. I'm going to move those around so they've got those nestled in there nicely. All right, that looks good now. I've got my weights in there, and I'm going to go ahead and put my brine in on top of it. I'm going to try to pour it on the weights there so I don't disturb the olives. And I'm going to make up just a little bit more. I might make a half a batch so that I can get the water above the weight line there. All right, I've got a half a batch of my brine solution now. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up to the top and go ahead and get that weight line under there. I've got the olives now under the weights, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the lid on that, and I'm going to grab some water and I'm going to seal this off. And with this crock, it's got a little bit of a vent here on the side, and what we want that for is we want those gases to come out, but we don't want anything to get back in there. So by putting this water on the top of it here that keeps that seal of that hole there closed off. I've got the water seal now on my crock, and I'm going to come back in 2 days and I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the next process. So go ahead and get this process started. I'll see you back in 2 days. I am back. It's been 2 days since we started brining our olives, and make sure that when you put yours in your crock, that, like we said earlier, we want to make sure that we keep that water level filled so that we don't get any air in there and we can allow those gases to escape. So now this is day 2, and we are going to take the water out of the canal here that we put it in, and we're going to drain that out. And I just use paper towels to get all of that out. All right, now that I've got the water out of the reservoir, I'm going to take the lid off of it. I didn't get all of it out of there, but that's okay. All right, I've got the weights out now. We'll look at my olives. They're looking really good. They're still green and still all looking good in there. Like I said, I don't see any mold on the side of that. So I'm going to take my colander to the sink, and I'm going to pour every bit of this out into the colander, and we're going to give these a good rinse. All right, I'm back. I've given my olives a good rinse. I wanted to show you what those look like. They're still looking really good and vibrant. So now we're going to load them back into the crock. I did rinse the crock out as well, make sure that there wasn't anything on the sides. I did give that a good rinse. And I'm going to come in and just load the olives back in. All right, I've got the crock loaded back with the olives now. And remember our brine, for every 1 liter of water that you've got, you want 100 grams of your salt, and don't put any other kind of salt in there that has any ingredient on it other than salt on whatever you're using. So at this point we can go ahead and start putting in that water. I did mix up 1.5 liters at this time, so I've got 1.5 liters of water, which is 150 grams of salt, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of that in there before I put the weights back on the top. That's looking good. And I've given my weights a good rinse also, and we want to put those in there back on the top. All right, I've got the weights in there, and I'm going to continue to fill this up until I get above the weight line, about 1 inch. And then I'm going to look to see if I see anything floating in there, and I see a couple pieces in there that have come to the top, and we definitely want to get those out. These are little small pieces like this I was talking about. All right, I've got my weights in there. We want to inspect it to make sure that there's not anything floating on the top, and I've got my long kitchen tweezers here, and I don't see anything floating. I see one little piece right there. Just don't want to take any chances with any mold growing on it. So I don't see anything else. Give it one last inspection. I've got it filled up with my brine solution now. I'm going to put my top on it. We'll fill this back up with water. We'll let it sit for 2 more days. We'll come back and do the same process again. We'll take our olives out. We'll rinse them. We'll put them back in with your brine solution that you'll mix up. 1 liter per 100 grams. You'll do that, you'll let it set for 2 more days, and we'll come back and do it 1 more time. Once we've done that 3 times total, so we put them in there the first time, this is our second time that we're rinsing them off. We want to do this every 2 days for 2 more times. And I'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do after we do the rinsing 2 more times. I am back, and since we've last seen each other, I have rinsed my olives 2 more times. So I'm going to now open this up, and we're going to take a look at it. And this has been 2 days since I last rinsed them. And the reason we're rinsing those is that salt that we've got in that water, that brine solution, is pulling those bitter notes out of those olives. And that's why we're doing the salt and then rinsing them and salt and rinsing them, salt and rinsing them. So this will be the last time that we're going to rinse these. So I'm looking at that. I just take that off, and this looks really good. I don't see anything in there that's alarming to me at this point, so that is good. I'm going to take this to the sink. I'm going to use my strainer that I've got here, and I'm going to pour out my brine solution that I've got here, and I'm going to give those a good rinse. And before I do that, I'm going to remind you again of the brine solution that we've got, and I've got 2 liters here, and that's what is going to take to fill up my container here. And if I need some more, I can always make some more. And then remember, per liter of water, you need 100 grams of salt. Just plain salt, nothing else in your salt but salt. So I've got 2 liters here. I've got 200 grams, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. I'm going to give that a mix through so that can start dissolving, and then I'm going to go to the sink, pour this out, rinse the olives off again, and we're going to put them back into the jar here, and then we're going to seal them up. And once we seal these up, then we'll talk about how long they're going to need to stay in here. So I'll be back in just a little while. All right, I am back, and I wanted to show you my olives, what they look like. They're still nice and green. They still have a nice smell to them. They're looking good. I just gave these a rinse, and I also gave the crock a rinse to make sure that everything was clean on that. So now we're going to load the olives back into the crock. All right, I've got the olives now in the crock, and I'm going to go ahead and give my water mixture, my brine and salt solution, another stir together to make sure that that is all dissolved. And I'm going to take and put just a little bit of the water in there, probably about half of it. Now I've got my olives in there where I can see the water is up to where the top of the olives are, and I've got a head of cabbage here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of these outer leaves off of here, and we're going to pack the jar with my cabbage that I've got here. Now you can use grape leaves if you've got some of those. Grape leaves have tannins in them, and they make a great thing also that keeps everything crispy with those. I just like the cabbage because you can get that readily available anywhere. And with that, I'm just going to pull off some of these outer leaves here, and we're going to put that in there to make sure that everything stays submerged. All right, I got a couple of leaves here. I might need more than 2, but I'm just going to go ahead and put those into the crock. And I'm going to make sure that everything stays under the brine solution at this point. All right, I'm about halfway covered on the bottom. I'm going to pull another one of my leaves off here, and I'm going to work this leaf around on the other side. Now that is looking good. I've got my flashlight here. I'm just going to check around to see if I see any of the small pieces of my olives that might have broken loose there. I don't see anything floating. I'm going to go wash my hands now. I've given my weights a little rinse, and I'm going to go ahead and put those back into the crock to make sure that everything stays submerged below the water. And everything so far is still looking good. I'm going to take some more of my brine solution, and at this point you want to make sure that you hit the weights on that and try not to disturb everything else in there, because we don't want any of that floating to the top. I've got the brine in the fermentation crock, and I want to check with my flashlight just to make sure I don't see anything floating, and I see a couple of small things that are floating on the top. So I'm going to take my tweezers that I've got here, and I'm going to reach down in there and pull that out. I've given my crock a good inspection, and you want to make sure that you also check under the rim here to make sure that there's nothing under there. I don't see anything floating, and this is just like any other fermentation that you've got at this point. You want everything to stay submerged. Anything that potentially comes above that could turn into mold, and we definitely don't want that. So make sure that anything that you see in there floating, you take that out, and everything will stay submerged under there with the weights and the cabbage leaves that I've got in there. So at this point, we want to take this and we're going to put this back wherever you had it. We're going to seal the top here back with water. Keep a check on that to make sure that that stays fully full of water at all times. You don't want the air to get below the opening here on the side for that to potentially ruin the olives that we've got going on the inside. And with that, I'm going to let these sit on the counter for 4 months. And then we're going to come back, we'll open it up, we'll give them a taste and see if they're where we want them. If they're not, we'll put some fresh cabbage leaves back on the top. We'll repeat the process and we'll put it in there, and we'll talk about that next phase of how long they'll need to stay in there the second time. So I'll be back 4 months and we'll take a look at these and see what we've got. I am back, and I just took the lid off of my olives here, and I wanted to show you what that looked like. I've already taken one of the weights out, and I've got it sitting over here on the side. I'm going to use these tongs that I've got here, and let's take out that cabbage. That cabbage has done its job. It's kept everything under the brine solution there. So let's take that out, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. See if I've left any of that in there. I want to get all of that out. So we can see down in that jar, we've got some nice olives that are there. I wanted to show you this cabbage. It is still nice and firm. It has a nice fermentation smell to it, so that has done what it needed to do. So I've got my weights out, I've got my cabbage out. Let's take one of these little strainers and take some of these out of here, and we'll see what we've got now for our olives. Look at that, how pretty those are. Fill up one of these little containers that I've got here. Everything smells really good. I'm going to take this glove off now, and we'll look at one of our olives we've got here. This still has some nice firmness to it. The smell smells just like a fermented olive would smell like that you would get in the store. Let's give this a try. Nice, briny, really delicious, really firm. These are really good olives. Leave me a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you if you've ever fermented olives before. This will be another one that you can add to your list. I've got a lot of videos on my channel where I fermented different foods and things. Check some of those out. I'm going to put this with that one so you can have a little list that you can go through. If you're interested in fermenting, I've got step-by-step instructions on how to do this, as long as cabbage, how to turn that into sauerkraut and pickles, all kind of different fermentations. Check some of those out. So now how you want to store these. I've got a jar here on the side and it's got a rubber seal on it with the lid on. I've given that a good wash. I'm going to take my little strainer here and I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these out. And we're going to put that into this jar. All right, I've got all of my olives out of my crock now. I did put them into this jar and I wanted to show you what that looked like. You want to make sure that you put the brine across the top of it, and then you can put this in the refrigerator and that'll be a good way to keep these. And you can just eat on them as you need them. So if you take them out of the crock, you'll need to put them in the refrigerator. They'll still ferment just a little bit. They won't be as fast as they were sitting out. So we've taken fresh olives that you get and we put those into a brine, and you've made olives now that you will be proud of your fermentation, and you'll have those to eat. Definitely check this out and check out some of my other fermentation videos I've got on my channel. I think you'll find something else in there you might like as well. If you like this content, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And while you're at it, check out one of these other two videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.